Hello, my name is Stephanie Wozniak. I'm a transition specialist with Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES. As you're navigating all of the online resources that are available to you and your students, we're going to be providing short webinars on some of the resources that can be most helpful. Today, we're going to focus on My Next Move, which is a career exploration website sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor. You can access this website via mynextmove.org. This website is also completely available in Spanish through miproximopaso.org. This is helpful for students who have Spanish as their first language, as it's often easier to understand some of the nuanced language for career exploration in your own language. For today, we're going to use the English website, and I'm going to walk you through some of the many ways that students can explore careers using this resource. On the home page, there are 3 ways that students can start exploring careers. The first way, right here, searching careers with keywords, students can enter a keyword such as computers, if that's what they're interested in. Once they enter computers and they click the search button, it's going to bring them to many different career choices based on that keyword. Students can then click on one of these careers and explore more. We can see not only are careers listed here, but also the bright outlook occupations are identified. This sun icon means that there's new job opportunities likely in the future for this career. Now, when students are doing career exploration, it's important not only for them to find careers that match their interest and their skill area, but also areas where there will be job openings in the future. The second way that students can start exploring careers is by browsing careers by industry. Students can use this drop-down menu, and they can identify an area that they're interested in. If we choose education and click on Browse, it's going to come up with a similar list of careers when we search by keyword. We can also identify where is it that this career, where did people work when they work in this career? And that will bring us to additional information about each career area. Finally, the area that we're going to focus on today is the interest inventory. When students aren't really sure where to start with career exploration, or they don't have an interest area that they would like to start with, they can start with an interest inventory. Students would click on the Start button, and it's going to bring them to the O-Net Interest Profiler. The O-Net Interest Profiler is a type of a Holland code, which is an interest inventory. This matches students' interest areas to possible career choices. Students would start by reading the directions, which provides them with the icons that they're going to have to use to select whether or not they strongly like or strongly dislike each of the work activities that will be presented to them. They're going to be provided with 60 questions about work activities. They're meant to focus on whether or not they like that activity, not necessarily how much money they think they could make doing it, or whether or not they have the education or training to be able to do it. Just simply whether or not they think they'd like or dislike doing that kind of work. They're presented with 5 pages of questions. They would read each. So the first one, build kitchen cabinets. They would then have to go over to the key, and they would decide whether or not they choose strongly dislike, dislike, unsure, like, or strongly like. They would move through each of these questions and identify how much they would like doing each of these activities. Now, for the purposes of this webinar, we're going to skip directly to a results page. However, it would typically take a student about 20 minutes to be able to complete this interest profiler. Once they've progressed through the 5 pages, they're going to be presented with their interest profiler results. These are categorized by Holland codes. There are 6 Holland codes: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Each of these are personality types that match different work activities. For a student, their highest score in each of these Holland codes would present their own personal Holland code. So for this student, they scored highest in realistic, enterprising, and conventional. So their Holland code would be REC. Now, if students aren't sure what these results mean, they simply can click on each of the Holland codes, and it's going to bring them to a description of what that means. For realistic, it identifies that realistic people like working with plants and animals, real world materials like wood, tools, and machinery, and outside work. Students could click on each of these Holland code areas and get more information. When they're ready to move on and see what careers match their Holland code, they would click the next, and it's also going to ask them what job zone would they like to focus on. So the Holland code provides the interest area, and then additionally, we're going to narrow down our career search by identifying one of 5 job zones, which categorizes how much education, training, or experience one would need to do that particular job. Students can identify a current job zone, so if they would like to get a job now based on their current level of education, training, or experience, or if they're doing future or transition planning, they can identify a future job zone, which is the education, training, or experience they plan to get in the future. Similar to the Holland codes, students will be presented with all 5 job zones. They can click on each to get more information. So for job zone 1, there's little or no previous work-related skill, knowledge, or experience that's needed for those careers. And there's also some examples provided. Students can progress through each description of the 5 job zones and then identify the area where they would like to explore more. For today, we're going to click on job zone 2, some job preparation required. Now on job zone 2 and the Holland code, realistic, enterprising, and conventional, our top 3 scores, we're going to be presented with a number of careers that match our interest area and also the job preparation that we either have or will have in the future. We can see that we're presented with a comprehensive list of a number of careers that would be good fits. On the left-hand side, we can also see that they're categorized by best fit, and as we progress down the list, there will be some that are also good fits, and we can see that there's other icons like the Bright Outlook occupations. Students can scroll through this list and identify any of the careers where they would like to explore more. For today, we're going to identify construction laborers because it's one of the best fit careers and it has a bright outlook, which means there are going to be jobs in the future. So we'll click on construction laborers, and it's going to bring us to a page, a summary page of that particular career option. This summary page is going to provide us lots of detailed information about construction laborers. It's going to provide us with other possible job titles for the same job. Also, a career video that the students can watch to get a sense of what this job might be like. There's a short description of what construction laborers would typically do. And also, there's a summary of the knowledge, skills, abilities, personality, and technology that might be required in this particular job. Now, students could review all of these requirements for the job to understand if it's a good fit for them. When I was working with students, I recommended that they reviewed each of the job descriptions that they were interested in and used 2 highlighters. One to highlight, yes, all the skills that I definitely 100% have and I would be able to do on this job. And with another highlighter, highlight the skills that they need more growth in, and then we could plan on how to support them in the future. Additional information provided on this job is the level of education that's required, and also links to be able to find certifications if necessary for a particular job, or licenses, and also a direct link to current apprenticeships that are available. Additionally, we have information about the job outlook, which provides a typical salary or the median salary. Now, this is a national salary, but if we wanted more information about our particular area, we could click on these additional links to get more detailed information about local salary info. Now, once a student has explored this job, construction laborers, maybe they found that they're not sure it's a great fit for them, but it's close. They could explore other similar careers simply by clicking on one of these job titles in the Explore More category. Now, students completing a career interest inventory, the point is to provide additional information to them to be able to explore careers. It's not necessarily the end point. Students should continue exploring careers and exposing themselves to all of the options that are available. They should also be focusing on building the necessary knowledge, skills, and abilities in the areas in which they're interested. Once a student completes an interest inventory and receives their results, don't forget to make sure to include that information either on their IEP if they're a student in special education or in their annual progress report for counseling. Thank you, and make sure that you check back for more webinars on other tools.